Thanks for joining us for a Facebook Live with Clair Norman, Director of Marketing of the Cameron K. Gallagher Foundation, professional mindfulness facilitator, an experienced practitioner, and certified yoga instructor. She's here with us today to let us know how the CKG Foundation can help families at this time, as well as lead us through a few mindfulness exercises for both kids and adults. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we will do our best to get back to you within the week. I'm Mara from the tour marketing team, and I'm sitting safely 6 feet away from Claire behind the camera, but I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself and take it away.
Yes, thank you, Mara. I'm Clair Norman, as I was introduced. I work with the Cameron K. Gallagher Foundation, and I'm so grateful for the Children's Hospital of Richmond for inviting us to be a part of their Facebook Live series. And we're eager to share with you just briefly a little about how we're operating in this uncertain times in the interim. We'll be engaging with Chore and some other of our partners in some other Facebook Live opportunities, some other virtual platforms as well. On Monday, we have a conversation with CKG scheduled. The topic will be increased togetherness at home with the family and experiencing that and learning how to navigate how that really is. Many of us, all of us in that same boat. Additionally, we are exploring ways to adjust and to convert some of our deliveries to more of a virtual platform. So we're excited to see what this new normal may bring in ways that we can continue to connect. And again, I'm grateful to be here today to spend a little time at a distance talking about one of the greatest tools for navigating stress and anxiety. And that tool is mindfulness. I know you've heard about it. I know you've probably experienced some opportunities to practice, but really the magic of mindfulness is that it creates space. It creates a calm in the mind and a calm in your nature so that you can connect with what really is happening around you without a lot of extra noise or drama. And it's tough these days. There's so much extra anxiety happening for all of us. So we're excited further to let you know that at the Cameron K. Gallagher Foundation, our regularly scheduled newsletter, SpeakUp News, will come out in early April, and in that edition we'll have some more specifics about ways that we're bringing our work to our audiences and communities in this kind of unreal, surreal frame that we're in. But really, let's march forward to some helpful tools that can be beneficial to you, your family, your children, whomever is in your room at a 6-foot distance. This mindfulness practices are thousands of years old, and they have helped the human race really navigate centuries of stress that come their way. So the first one I want to mention is sort of specific and unique to the Cameron K. Gallagher Foundation, although all mindful practice is available to all. This is something that we like to call an activity that creates a mindful breath beat string. And the activity itself is a bit of an art project, super simple, anybody can do it. And done mindfully at a pace to really notice the experience of building this gadget can help increase the experience of mindful breathing, which is the next step. So first, we just take a cord of any size, tie a knot at one end, and then string 6 beads along the cord. Tie a knot at the second end so they don't slide everywhere. And what these beads represent are essentially 3 full, deep, calming, healing, mindful breaths. And with the extra tail here on your art project, you can tie this to a belt loop even, maybe to a keychain, maybe tie your mindful breath beads to the end of your backpack, a purse, or maybe just keep it in your pocket for your reminder that your breath is always available. So this mindful breath bead, we'll do this together. These series of 3 long mindful breaths will help calm the physiologic reactions to stress and anxiety. And that is that rapid heart rate, and that is that increased blood pressure. So these long, slow breaths really help bring your physical body a little bit more soothed and calm. So together, in your imaginary, beautifully made mindful breath bead, you would hold one bead and inhale deeply Really enjoy the fill of the lungs and go to your depth. Really fill your lungs as much as possible. Move your fingers to the second bead and then let the air out. And just for the full amount of time, 4 to 6 seconds, allow that exhale to complete itself. And moving up your beautiful mindful breath chain, you just complete a total of 3. And that's all it takes to begin to sense into something that's not as keyed up, an experience that's not quite as anxious. And you might know that our anxiety belongs. We should not stigmatize anxiety, much like we shouldn't stigmatize mental health. Anxiety is a tool, it's a message. It lets us know that something is not quite right for you. So trying to push away the anxiety will only make it worse. We have a phrase we've heard called "what you resist persists," and that includes anxiety. So there's a moment of allowing the anxiety to be where it is, and that is in the moment. It's here with us right now. We know we're all feeling a higher level, and a simple backing up, sitting in a bit of a mindful present stature, feet flat, chest lifted, arms relaxed, holding your breath beads, or maybe just tapping your fingers if you haven't yet done that activity, and just inhaling and exhaling, counting, really helps calm the mind and body. So mindful breathing, practice 1, is really the foundation for all mindfulness. It is that mainframe that we come back to understand where we are in the present moment and allow for the physiologic calming sensation that comes when we attune to the breath. But moving forward, another practice that we like to suggest for people is also kind of active and can involve your family, and that is a mindful eating practice with your family. What we like to suggest is that family members take a different item of food, preferably something kind of healthy, like a piece of fruit, maybe a grape or a raisin or a strawberry, a cherry, something small, and pretend that you're an alien out there and that you've never seen this item before, and describe it with your senses. All of your data for your environment comes in through your senses. What you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're smelling and tasting, all those things are giving you information about your environment. And the more we tune into the experience of our senses through this eating, we're able to use that out as we're in the world navigating this crazy time. So each family member has a piece of fruit, and they look at it and describe what it is, maybe the feel of it on the sense of touch. Maybe, I've even had folks in training that I've done before is hold up a raisin or a grape to your ear, and some people claim they hear it. I don't know. It's just fun, right? A lot of times with mindful activities in families, it might cause, a little bit of, I don't feel like it, I don't want to sit down here and do it, but at least they get a nice piece of fruit to enjoy in that process. And no matter what, they are gaining some mindful skills and heightening their sensory responses to their environment. So mindful eating together, pretending like you are landed on an alien planet, you're a reporter and you have to tell everyone what the sensation was of eating this food. So that's number 2. We all breathe and we all eat. So why not spend a little bit of extra time experiencing what that has to offer and allowing our bodies and minds to be in the same place. So that's the second one. There's so many things that we can do. Out there you've probably heard about mindful coloring. Mindfulness and layering on an awareness on any activity will simply heighten the experience of the activity. So bringing the sensations and the breathing into anything you do, cooking, will help kind of bring in that sense of mental stability in a season of quite instability. I'd like to also mention right now, when we really can't hug each other and we're not supposed to touch or shake hands, there's a practice, a visualization practice I found from this book that I refer to, you might be able to notice, a lot. And this practice is actually called imaginary hugs. And especially for younger children, it may be a good way to ask them to sit still and use their imaginations and take a little journey with you as a parent or a leader or a friend or a teen or anyone in the room can help guide a couple people to the sense of connection when we can't actually touch each other. So following along with me if you don't mind, or just maybe listening to words to see what the thoughts are behind it. This is based off of something called a loving kindness meditation that's very well known. It just kind of takes it more into the what's happening today scenario. So first, just take a moment to allow yourself to be in a relaxed but alert posture. And what does that mean? 2 feet on the ground, lifting your chest so that it floats right above your belly button and your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. So if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, now would be a good time. Take a few breaths with me, please. Inhaling deeply, allowing your lungs to be full, and then exhaling all tension left from things that might have happened already today. Now imagine a peaceful place that you would like to visit with your friends and family. It can be a place that you know, like your backyard, or maybe it's a place you haven't yet been, but you know, the 100-acre wood from Winnie the Pooh maybe, something like that. Imagine that you can feel, see, touch, hear, and taste, maybe even smell something from your peaceful place. Maybe you smell delicious chocolate chip cookies baking in the oven, or hear the sound of water splashing on rocks at a waterfall. But let's imagine now some friendly wishes that we can send to ourselves. In your mind's eye, give yourself an imaginary hug. Imagine that you're having fun in your peaceful place, and silently say to yourself something like, I hope I have a great day. Next, take that same feeling and imagine that you're going to give love and imagery, an imaginary hug, to someone in your friend group, a family member too. Just in your mind's eye, picture your arms encircling that good friend and wishing them quite well. Picture him or her smiling, and imagine that you're hugging each other. And silently you might say something like, I hope you are happy and have a great day. Next, think of the world, the planet, all of us needing a great big hug. And in your mind's eye, picture your outstretched arms pulling the world into your heart and holding us all in your good thoughts of your happy place. Sending really, really good energy, good feelings, and good thoughts to the whole world. And hold on to how that feels to connect and to wish well all of us in today's environment. And then allow your arms and hands to be relaxed in your lap. Enjoy the sensation of giving and receiving some imaginary hugs. And then picture the room you're in. And then open your eyes, take in the sights, sounds, smells of this environment. And to finish this visualization, take a good, long, deep inhale, feeling the good feelings from this visualization, and then exhale any left tension. And so, friends, this really is a visualization that can be translated, and there's a lot of interesting and good scripts out there that are accessed by the Calm app, Insight Meditation. There's a whole bunch, Insight Timer, excuse me, a whole bunch of apps out there that we recommend. And we can answer any questions you might have by sending out what those recommended apps would be. So we have mindful breathing. It's a simple stop, take a deep breath, allow 3. We have the idea of taking your time, eating something simple, and really investigating with your senses what that is. We have certain mainstream activities like mindful coloring or anything at a slow pace that we can bring our senses. And then finally, the opportunity for visualization. And there's so very many of those available. Some will speak more, will resonate with you more than others. But being able to just dial in and imagine a world where we can connect, where there is a cure and a vaccine, where we're all back to work. And maybe the good thing underneath the veil of this is we'll learn to appreciate the present moment from these practices and this scary time. And remember that the fear belongs, but the fear does not rule us. With mindfulness practices, we can become quite present and know that we can become calm and be part of the solution. So I want to thank Jor for inviting us to converse a little about this, and to offer these practices as a way to navigate the stress of this time.
Thank you for your time today, Claire. I think that those are great exercises and references that we can use right now, and we'll hopefully continue to use after this when things are a little bit more calmer and back to regularly scheduled programming that we're all used to. Just remember that if you have any questions for Claire, you can leave them below, and a great reference for anything CKG Foundation related is their Facebook page and their website.
Yep, ckgfoundation.org.
Awesome. And if you have any need for anything COVID-19 related specifically, you can just go to chrichmond.org/COVID.